Hello, welcome to Chapter 2, Lesson 1. Today we're going to be talking about decimals and fractions. So let's jump right in. All right, so first we have instruments below. Show the part of the students in the school orchestra that play each type of instrument. Okay, right? 20, here's how I would say this word, right? This decimal, 25 hundredths in word form. So 25 hundredths. That's how you would say it in word form. Now, if we think about going from decimal to fraction, we would just write this fraction as 25 over 100. Okay, so again, we have this decimal, 15 hundredths. If I'm going to write it in word form, 15 hundredths. Now, I always get kids that think they should not write out the word 15 and they should just write 1, 5, and then write out hundredths. Like, that's not what we do. It's in word form. It should be all words, right? So if we're going to write 15 hundredths as a fraction, it's just 15 over 100, 15 hundredths. All right, we're going to move on to the next page where we can do some converting. Okay, so here it says the average length of a conch shell is 9 85 hundredths inches. Express 9 85 hundredths as a mixed number. So I kind of liked how they showed here. I think they did it on the next page actually, but I'll just show you here. So we have 9 and 85, I think they did it when we went the other way, 9 and 85 hundredths. So my 9 stays the same, right? And then if I'm going to move my 85 hundredths into a fraction, I just have to do 85 hundredths, and then I would simplify, right? Divide by 5, divide by 5, and I would get 9 and 17 twentieths would be my mixed number that is simplified. Okay. Here too, write it as a decimal. Oh yeah, so another way to think about it is kind of like how we were doing the ratios in the last chapter. So if I have 9 twelfths, I could simplify, divide by 3, and make it 3 fourths. And then, because I know I want a denominator of either 100 or 10, 4 doesn't go into 10, but it does go into 100. So if I multiplied by 25, I would get 75 hundredths. Okay, so this is exactly what we did on the last chapter, right? We had 9 twelfths, we had the boxes, right? And we had to find equivalent ratios, 3 and 4, in order to get to the last one. We kind of filled in the boxes, and maybe it was like an empty box, right? So this is the same thing, just now we get to use it in fractions. Okay, another method here, if I'm going from fraction to decimal, I divide the top divided by the bottom. So the top, which is your numerator, divided by the bottom. Okay, so I would do 9 divided by 12. 12 does not go into 9, so I need to add my decimal in my house and on top of my house. Put my 0 there. Well, I know that's a 7. 12 times 7 is 84. I have 6 left over. I don't have anything, so I add that 0 in. 60 divided by 12 is 5. 12 times 5 is 60. So our decimal here would be 0 and 75 hundredths. Okay, so we have the option of trying to get a denominator of 10 or 100, or we can just divide it out. Both options will work. Let's do a little example down below. I'm going to scooch these guys up here. If you need them, you can just rewind the video. Okay, so let's do 14 25ths. Now, I know 25 goes real easy into 100, so I'm just going to multiply them both by 4. to get a denominator of 100, and 14 multiplied by 4 is 56. 56 hundredths, so how would I write that as a decimal? 0 and 56 hundredths. So that's for letter F. Let's do letter G. Now 250, can I make it easy into 100? Yeah, I could. Easy, no, too much thinking. I'm just going to divide. Top divided by the bottom. Okay, I cannot do 250 into 102, so I'm going to add my decimal. And I need to get it into 1020. Well, I know 250s is 500, so I would need 4 minus 1,000. I was going to do that, silly. So I got 20 left over. Okay. Add another 0, bring it down. We got 200. Can't do that. Add another 0, bring it down. 2,000. Okay, now it'll be an 8, right? Because 1,000 is 4, 250, so 2,000 will be 8. So this is my decimal here. 408 thousandths. So G would be 408 and 0 and 56 hundredths. Okay, so we got those two there. So again, we have, here we have to go fraction to decimal. So see here, look at here. Why did they do this? Here's what I would have done. 3 divided by 8. Okay, can't do it. 30, 8 goes into 30 3 times. Minus 24. Bring down a 6. Sorry, this is a 6. 60. How many 8s go into 60? 7 minus 56. And, oh, 0, sorry. My answer is 5. How many 8s go into 45? Okay, so then I would know that's there. Like, I don't know. How do they go from 8 to 1,000? They really are going to multiply it by 125? That seems silly. All right, I'm just going to do a couple quick problems here. So here, write each decimal as a fraction or mixed number in simplest form. So here we have 4/10. So my fraction would be 4/10, and then I need to simplify 2/5. 64 hundredths, 64 hundredths. I can divide by 2, and get 32 50ths. That's still even, so I know I can divide them both by 2. Divide by 2, and I would get 16 25ths. And that would be in simplest form. How about 2 and 75 hundredths? 2 and 75 hundredths. I can divide these both by 25 and get 3/4. So my final answer would be 2 and 3/4. Circle my answers there. Okay. Next, we've got some fractions here, so let's look at these guys. 27 75ths. That's a doozy. I'm just gonna, you know what I see I can do? 27 divided by 3, 75 divided by 3. I would get 9 25ths. And then I could multiply this by 4 to get 36 hundredths, or 36 hundredths. You have that option, or you could have just done 27 divided by 75, and we can just have it straight up in decimal form. 2, so it'll be 3 75s, 21 and 22 would be 225. And I got 45 left over. Bring down a 0. So we know that 275 is 150, which means 4 would be 300, which means 5 would be 375, which means 6. Which I should have known that because I already know the answer. So that would be 450. So both ways, I get a decimal of 36 hundredths. Real quick, I want to look at the 7 over 2. Okay, because you might think you should do 2 divided by 7, but that would be bottom divided by the top. And here's what I could do. I know how to multiply 2 to make it a 10. Just multiply by 5, multiply by 5. I will get 35, 35 over 10. Oh, let me erase that. Try that again. 35 over 10. Okay, so if I was going to make that into whole number, I know 10 tenths, 10 tenths, 10 tenths plus 5 tenths would reduce to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1/2. So it would be 3 1/2. Would be what 7 halves would be. Oh, so that'd be a decimal. Okay, 5 tenths. Oh, we know this one, right? 5 tenths would just be 5 tenths. All right, that's all I have for you. I'm probably going to use this for my example here, 3 1/5 into decimal form. So thanks for watching to the end, and we'll see you tomorrow to work on some practice problems. Bye.